All right, what's going on, dudes, and welcome to Fortress Fallout. This is my game. I'm doing a gameplay video on my channel of a game that I helped to make. That's kind of crazy. If you just told me 2 years ago I'd been doing this, I'd have been like, nah, there's no way. But it's happening. And I'm excited because today I actually get to show you gameplay on the game that you guys also helped to name and make a thing. So that's pretty cool as well. So a little bit of background, because I do get questions every time I make a video about this game, like, what is it? Because a lot of people are each video hearing about it for the first time. So when it's launched, it's a free-to-play mobile game that'll be available on iOS and Android platforms. It's been getting worked on for the past few months. We've still got a ways to go, but I have a build that I'm able to show you gameplay on. So why don't we get into things here? I should give a disclaimer, which is that, again, we're like in the thick of development, so there are a lot of things that aren't very polished. For example, this whole build screen here is going to be overhauled to be made a lot prettier. All the weapons and like the support blocks, the core, those are all going to have like animations. So if anything looks rough, that's probably because it is. We're more focused on making sure the functionality is there, making sure that the game works, that you can fire at a tower, you can build a tower, you can play against someone, and then after all that is in there, we'll make sure it looks pretty. So, anyway, I've got a tower already set up here, just so you're not looking at a blank screen while I was introing things, but let's clear the board really quickly. We'll just go into practice mode and back on out. You'll get to see that in just a few minutes. What we're gonna do now is we're going to build a tower, and then once we have a tower, we'll go into practice mode, and I'll just sort of show you the mechanics and stuff, and then I think maybe a couple weeks from now, I'll actually show you me playing against someone else. So, you know, we'll stagger some content. Anyway, so let's start off as if we just launched the game and we're doing a build for the first time. So up over on the upper right-hand corner of the screen, we got a few different tabs. We have some building blocks, we have our weapons, we have our support blocks, and the core. The idea of the game, again, if this is the first you're hearing of it, is you build a structure of your own, you put down a core, and you're basically matched up against someone and trying to destroy the core block in their tower before they do the same to you. This is the core block right here. If I place it down, again, this is going to be like animated and stuff. It's just placeholder art at the moment, as is with this entire build screen. So anyway, let's start off by placing down some building blocks. So we'll start off with brick, and then we've also got wood at our disposal. So I'll just make some sort of like staggered structure right here. I'll just paint some bricks down, and we'll make a few different tiers here, sort of similar to the tower I had just sitting here when we were just doing the intro. So the brick is a little bit stronger than the wood, but it also costs more resource points. So right now I'm at 78 out of 300. You see on the top of the screen here, that's the total amount of resource points you can expend on a tower. So if I put one more down, 81, so it costs 3. The wood, on the other hand, only costs 1, but it's a little bit weaker, and but it's a trade-off. More volume, weaker individual blocks. Or do you want like something that's a super strong individual block, but you can't place down as many of them? So anyway, we can place down 4 more. Why don't we just fill in this area right here, and then we'll fill in the rest with wood. And here we go. Let's just fill in all this area. We may as well, because we want to protect our core as much as possible. Well, there's a caveat to that, and I'll get to that in just a second. But now that we've got a basic structure outlined, I could place down 28 more wood, but there's not really much of a point in me doing so at the moment. So now I'll switch over to the weapons tab, and I'm going to put down some catapults. Catapults are currently the only weapon that we have implemented. There will be another, well, catapults are the only one in here. There's another weapon, which you'll see when we get into the actual practice mode, but we'll have 3 others, I think, at launch on top of the catapult that you'll be able to sort of craft. By getting resources, you'll craft them, and then they'll be available to you. So, anyway, all right, we put down the catapults there. Now we may as well put down some support blocks. This is the Mystic Shield, and we'll just surround the core block in these, and these allow you to shield a target of your choosing on the battlefield. So, this is a good basic structure for us to just demo right here. 246 out of 300, so we could put more down as far as wood goes if we wanted to. Like we could, I don't know, sort of protect the this back catapult so that only things with a big arc will get to it. I don't know. it's not really necessary at the moment for our purposes. So anyway, let's go, and I should mention for physics, as long as something is connected to the base by one face, it's good to go. But if these two blocks here got destroyed, then that part would fall. Anything that's floating will fall. So that's not very stable, that wood thing right there, but it's viable. Anyway, let's go ahead and we'll actually go into practice mode. So this is the actual battle screen right here, and we can start off by firing some catapults. So there are a couple ways to select. One is we just actually put our finger on the screen, pull back, and then shoot. Or there's the hotbar down at the bottom, and this is more helpful if you have a smaller device like an iPhone, and you can just select that. It'll auto-select something that's available to fire in that genre. If there's nothing that's off cooldown, then it's not going to select it, and then you can quick swap that way. Anything with an exclamation point means that it's available to fire. And I just took out a catapult on my inanimate. So in practice mode, it's just basically a mirror of your tower. It doesn't fire back at you, but you're able to sort of test out the weapon mechanics and test out for weaknesses in your tower. So I wanted to fire pretty quickly. You do want to be careful because you can damage your own tower. So if I shot that catapult up at the top left corner into this piece of wood here, it would actually do damage to it like that. Okay, and then, so you may be wondering who the dudes are that I just fired at the front. So those are the archers. The reason they're there is because there's a chance all your weapons could be destroyed, but we still want you to have something that you can fire. So the archers, they're auto-placed in there. You'll notice they weren't in the weapons tab when we were actually building our tower. And as time goes by, they'll actually increase in power so that if your weapons all get taken out, you still have a viable weapon that you can keep using. They stay equal in power on each side for each opponent, but they just become more of a thing that you actually want to really take advantage of as the time goes by. I believe, as it's set up right now, every minute they will increase in power, and again, in the final product, we'll have a very clear way of indicating that to each of the players. So, anyway. I've just been showing you the actual firing of things right now, but we do have the support blocks. So we've got like the Mystic Shields. Select that, and I can drag it onto something, and that's just going to protect it for 4 seconds from magic damage. And then we can also heal blocks with the core. That's the core's special active ability. So if that catapult had been hit and taken damage, then we can heal it up. So that's the idea there, but that has a longer cooldown. So everything has a cooldown. And the core, so I should mention, this is where the special ability of the core comes in, is that it will actually, if it is adjacent to a block, it'll increase the rate of fire. So if it's next to a catapult, it'll make that catapult have a lower cooldown. Same with the Mystic Shields. So that's why I surrounded the core with the Mystic Shields, so that those have a lower cooldown. Now I should mention, we'll have like another... When the game is released, we'll have like another sort of block in there that's gonna it'll increase the radius of that effect, where it decreases the cooldown and stuff, but that'll be later on in development. So anyway, this is basically this is how the game flows. And so if I want to, I can just keep on whittling down straight to the core, or if I wanted to try, for the sake of just making this interesting, like whittling away at the tower so that we get some nice physics and the whole thing just the whole top part comes down. We could try that as well, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be good enough at aiming to make that happen. Let's just throw down, pretend we're being attacked here. I'm gonna throw down some shields. Whoa, man. Let's make sure that we're all good. Heal the dude up there. He's taking a lot of damage. Whoa, man. So, I mean, a lot of this is there's gonna be a lot of balance tweaks, balance. Like, we have to work on that a ton. We'll have a beta period where we're gonna just try to get everything nailed down as best as possible before we actually do a full launch. So, yeah, man, this is the basic idea. In the actual game, you'd be firing things, trying to have a balance between your accuracy and your rate of fire, and yeah. When you have something firing back at you, there we go, there's a little bit of physics for you. When you have something firing back at you, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking, but at least this way you sort of get a general idea as to how things work. If I can just get there, There we go, I got the core and it all falls down. All right, cool. So it was in 4 minutes, 30 seconds with me sort of rambling on, so it would have been a little bit quicker if I was like fully focused on destroying the core there. So that's practice mode for you, and I think that'll be the full extent of gameplay for the day, but again, in like a couple weeks, I should be able to actually show you like a multiplayer game where I play against someone else. Now I should mention, like, art-wise, there's actually like all these blocks in the final thing, like they're gonna merge together and it'll actually look a little bit more castle-like. So you'll have like 2x2 block textures, 1x2 block textures, then like the individual 1x1 block textures, but it'll look a little bit less grid-like and a little bit more interesting. And then of course, again, like the animations and everything and stuff, and there's again a lot of polish, but at least like the mechanics are there, and I really hope that you like it, because I mean it's a big investment on the part of many people, and you know, we hope people enjoy playing it. So that's basically it for now. If you have any immediate feedback, comments, things to say just after watching this, feel free to leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, a rating would be much appreciated. And yeah, man, that was Fortress Fallout, the first little gameplay demo for you. So I hope you're excited, and I will keep you guys updated, and next week maybe show you some updated art, animations or something. The week after, maybe show you an actual, again, like multiplayer gameplay thing going on. And yeah, that's it for now though. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.